Hello, everybody, and welcome. Welcome to Most Things Hypnosis. I'm your host, Ilah Brock, and we're live at 5. And today in the studio is my dear friend, once again, Paul Marshall, and he'll be co hosting with me today. And today's show, it's going to be about something called Law of Attraction. What is it? How does it work? I'm going to share some resources, examples. Paul and I have found this to be a very effective way to achieve what we want. And we'll maybe later on I'll just do a little self role play, kind of show you how it works. But what is it? What is law of attraction? The definition I found was when thought and energy come into alignment with desire. So basically, what we think about, we manifest, sort of. So don't get out of hand. Let us explain some of this, some of our examples of how this works. And Paul is going to share some of his examples, how it works. And we're just going to kind of get into this, what is law of attraction? And how does it work? And what is it we're supposed to do? And some of you have heard of it, some of you haven't. If you want the 101, I'm not making any money on this promotion here, but there is a Netflix documentary. It's about an hour long. It's called The Secret, the one with the big red S in it. It kind of gives you the 101 on, law of attraction. It was done in like 2006, and it kind of gives you a heads up. But we're going to go through a little bit more detail about what this is, how it works, and etc. So thank you, Paul, so much for being here again.
Well, thank you, Miss Ilah. Hello, boys and girls. Hi, Mama.
Yeah,
I loves my mama.
Got to say hi to Mama. His mom's an
Law of
angel.
attraction. We've got an hour. Boy,
We got
it's
a
a lot to cover.
Do you think we have enough time?
Well, there's always next week.
There's always, well, I don't know. Next week we got essential oils, but that'll work. So we're going to talk about that later. So first of all, let's just get into some of this law of attraction and how we're going to get into some immediate examples, because this is kind of like when I met you, almost going on 3 years. You know that, right?
Oh,
I know. Time flies when you're having fun.
I say my prayers every day.
Yeah, say your prayers every night.
You are a blessing.
I'm a blessing, I know, in disguise. There you go. But when you think about law of attraction, just because you're the layman coming in, I'm a coach for it. I understand all the aspects of it, and you do as well. But what is it that you can tell just anybody about it? And then how has it worked for you in the last few years? Talk to me,
Well,
or them.
well, I think it's pretty simple. First off, you either got to believe or you don't. And to put your heart in the position that you believe in something good, that you want something better for yourself, you want a better life, and you want to do what you need to do those steps to move in that direction. So, law of attraction is coming from your own heart. We put out what we get back. If you start off your day and say you're going to have a bad day, it'll be manifest. But if you start your day off and tell yourself you're going to have a good day and focus on that, that'll also manifest as well. So in our daily lives, what we think about, and I know we're going to get into more depth into it,
Yeah.
is truly the antenna that you're putting out that you want to receive. So if you want yourself to be good, you want happy thoughts, you got to think those thoughts. You want those thoughts to come back to you. And it's a lot of things in life you can manifest with it. You can, your health, for one thing. Um, you know,
Go ahead.
and I think part of it is too on when people are doing their manifestations or they're doing prayers or however you might want to say it, it's how you do it, what the emphasis on it, and where it's coming from. Because it's all about vibrations, which is emotions, and it all comes from the heart.
And energy. It's energy.
Everything's energy.
Emotions is energy in motion. Okay. Visualization. Does that have any part of it, you think?
Oh, it's everything. I think the way to answer that is why do so many people pray and their prayers never get answered?
Oh, yeah.
Because a lot of it's coming from a position of lack in their heart.
Oh, yeah.
You can't want it.
Yeah.
You have to, have it in your heart that you've already achieved it. Why do people not win the lottery? Because they want it. But people that put themselves in the position that they've won it has the emotions and the feelings, the energy that goes with it. And I think part of the universe, God, however you want to say it, see it, feel it, doesn't matter as long as you know the energy is there. We all got created from somewhere. We have this energy. You have to think about it, and the way I looked at it is there's 6,500 languages on Earth. So if you were praying or your affirmations or however you want to say it, I think it's extremely more powerful to visualize it. If I had 6,500 people that spoke 6,500 different languages in front of me and I held up a pencil, 6,500 different words would come out of their mouth, but everybody would know what the pencil is. So when you're doing your manifestations, when you're trying to achieve what your goals are, see it. You've heard it before. If you can see it in your mind's eye, you can achieve it. But sometimes it's not as easy as it sounds. You really got to put yourself in that state to where you start to visualize it, but visualize yourself in that situation. So basically, instead of the words and saying it, you can say the words, but that should give you the visualization to go with it. Now, how much do you really want to achieve your goals is how much emotion, i.e. energy, you put into it. If it's something you really desire, if it is that new car, if it's your health, if it's your relationship, or whatever that may be, put yourself in the position that you just achieved it. Think about if you did win the lottery, how would you feel at that point? Don't wait for that opportunity. Feel it now, live it now. God, the universe, will fill the disconnect. So it's a matter of coming from lack or put yourself in the position that you actually have achieved it now. If you want a successful business, how would it feel right now? If you wanted that new car, what kind of new car is it? What color would it be? Be specific. Get into what exactly you want. If you wanted that new car, put yourself in that new car. What would you do? You would get in and adjust the mirrors, right? You absolutely get in, turn on the stereo. You do everything because that's where you want to put yourself. Put that energy out there. That's specifically what I want. And then keep that focus, but put the emotions, the energies with it, so the universe knows, God knows how much energy that, an emphasis you want to put on whatever your goals you want to achieve.
Awesome. I do apologize. Sometimes I interrupt Paul. I'm sorry. He's going to fix me. Am I fixable?
Quit drinking.
Oh, yeah, don't. No, anyway. So has law of attraction worked for you? Anything specific?
You know what? In ways, and that's part of it too. Sometimes we get gifts and we don't realize it. And I think part of this is too, when you do get a gift, enough people don't say thank you for it. And we'll get into some other things, but some very simple things. I'm working right now, pickleball 5150. This is a manifestation. I literally was in my office in 2018, November 18th, and I was closing my eyes. It was like 10 o'clock at night, and I kept saying, God, I need a direction. Where am I going in my life? What is my next step? What opportunities are going to be open to me?
Before you finish, Paul's semi-retired. You're in a position of what's next.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's a very good point.
Right.
So I'd had a place in my life where I knew I wanted to do and achieve more, and I wanted to go, but who really knows what's right and what's wrong? How do you get those impulses, or where to go, what to do? You've got to ask the right questions on how to do it.
So what happened?
Well, I literally was sitting there, and afterwards I thought about it, but I found myself, I was at my desk, but my weight bench was right there, and I kept turning around, and I did this 3 times. And I found myself staring at my pickleball paddle. And on the 3rd time, I finally looked at it, because I did. I stopped, I worked, I went back, I did my prayers, I focused on it again. I really put that energy. I really need some help here. I stayed up until 3 o'clock in the morning doing drawings on a paddle that is now getting ready to go to market. That is literally, there's thousands of paddles in the market, and mine does everything every one of those does, and it came from that night, and it came from those drawings. It shows how to make one paddle for everybody: beginner, intermediate, expert, people that are finesse players, people who are bangers. It doesn't matter. My paddle adjusts to them.
And I think it's brilliant. I mean, I've seen all of his drawings and all of his, I've kind of walked with this through him, kind of on the sidelines in the shadows, and I've just been watching how he's been able to manifest. He was able to get an immediate investor, like 6 months later, and he, other investors are welcome, by the way. But it's
a whole other level.
Right. That's a whole other avenue. So, but while you're staring at this paddle, and you're looking up at your universe, and you're staring at the paddle, and you're trying to figure out what's next, I mean, at that time, did you know about law of attraction?
I did, and I've always seeked out what is God.
Right?
Because a lot of the stuff in the Bible doesn't make sense to me.
Right.
You know, but I know we all came from somewhere. We
Right.
didn't just, some force, some energy, God, however you say it, Allah, however you pray or say your affirmations, or however you want to look at it. There's something there, and if you believe in it, it will work for you. And that's the whole point. People say, well, I don't believe in that. Well, that's why it doesn't work, because you just simply don't believe.
Right.
But I think if you would just do the opposite and believe in something good, you'll be a better person. You'll be a better friend,
Exactly.
because your heart is always trying to better yourself. I've said it a bunch of times. I always want to try to make tomorrow better than today.
Right.
So I keep trying to improve myself and how to be a better version of myself. And that's simply through law of attraction and keeping good thoughts in your
Right.
and in your focus.
Yeah. Absolutely. Okay. So here's some well, actually, I'm going to go into an example myself first. 3 years ago, January. It was 2018 January. I had worked at Hypnosis Motivation Institute. I was working in their distance education program. I lived a mile away. They're in Tarzana, California, and I hadn't started my shift yet. So I had about half an hour. I wanted more experience being a hypnotherapist. Now, I'd had some. I've been doing it for a little while. I was in school. I enjoyed it. But I meant before, it's like, what am I going to do to get more practice? So it was like I had 5 minutes to come up with, just this thought popped in my head. You know what? A lot of hypnotherapists work in rehabs and sober living homes, etc. And I thought that would be a great place to start. So I did a quick Google. Yes, there's a bunch of them in the San Fernando Valley area in California. I made a couple notes. I need a new business card. I need a brochure, just some ideas. So when I got home that night, I can get working on it right away. So I get to work doing my job. I got a phone call from a friend. She said, Ilah, I need a hypnotherapist. I go, how can I help you? Well, really not me, my friend Sue. Okay, well, got Sue's number. I called Sue and I asked Sue, so I understand. Lori says you need a hypnotherapist. She goes, well, actually my friend, he's a doctor. I'm like, okay, well, give me his number. I called him. Now all these phone calls took place in 15 minutes. And this was about 2 hours after I had left my house, left the notes on my bed. So I called this doctor and he goes, yes, I do need a hypnotherapist. I need a hypnotherapist for a sober living home in Calabasas. I about fell off my chair because it was just 2 hours before I had this thought. Now, I call that purity of thought. I wasn't trying to manifest anything outside of my vibration. I just wanted to know what I needed to do, and the universe brought it to me. That was a Monday. Had an interview with him that night. Thursday, I had 7 new clients for 4 weeks at a sober living home, helping them with their anxiety when they're coming off of meth or whatever. But that was just like one of many. Just recently, I even posted this one on my Facebook page. Back in the end of June, I was talking to my partner and I said, I'm going to have to law of attraction some more money because, I don't look at money as, it's energy, something that I need to get where I want to go and to provide a comfortable living. But, I was a little short, but I wasn't worried about it. I just made a parenthetical, comment. I need to attract some more money. And the word money came out of my mouth and my phone chimed because EDD still owed me some unemployment from like 5 months before. I didn't know when that was going to come in. All of a sudden, I had $900. It's like, well, there you go. I mean, it was cool. Now, is that going to happen every time? No. But here's the thing. Even there have been times when I think this is a great opportunity before me, and you'd said it just a few minutes ago, and it doesn't happen. So a lot of people, what do? They drain their energy right there. I don't know how you worded it. It was pretty brilliantly worded just now, but you do that. But it's like they just like to give up. Well, law of attraction, the universe is watching you. They want to give you what your energy is. Where's your energy? Where's it going? I mean, by all means, chime in anytime. We're just having a chat here. So like you were talking about good health, and we were discussing this in the car on the way here.
Well, let's back up for just a second. Okay, at that moment, for boys and girls too, When you got that gift, and truly was a gift,
Thank
you
you.
asked for it, you received it, what's the first thing you should do?
Thank you. I thanked my universe. Thank you, God. Thank you, universe. I was like, I was happy. I didn't expect it that way. I didn't know how it was going to be this big. I just have more clients. You know, I didn't know. I don't know how things are going to happen. They just happen.
Well, I think that's a lot of it too, and we'll get into it a little more, but when people receive gifts, they don't understand it could be something small,
Like what?
but
Small,
well,
like,
like here, if I walk across the parking lot and I see a penny, I pick it up. Now, will a penny buy you anything? No. Is there any value in that penny? Well, no, not in a sense. But a lot of manifestations, a lot of things, and one of the key things in life people want is more of abundance. They want more money, more money. So I'll tell
Right.
you, and he's showing it on the screen right now. This is actually what happened to me. This is a true story. Every time I find a penny, I do. I take a moment, I thank the God, and I close my eyes for a minute, no matter where I'm at. And I say thank you. And I have literally taken that penny, and I found a nickel, and then I found a dime, and then I found a quarter. And what you're seeing right here on the screen, I was walking into a convenience store, gas station, and in the middle of the parking lot, people are walking right by it. I picked all that up.
this was on July 3rd of this year.
Exactly. Now, does it seem kind of insignificant? But it's the law of attraction. I say thank you. If you get a gift and you don't say thank you, you may get another gift, but you're probably not going to get a third one. But if you take and your appreciation is there for even the smallest gifts, you'll see the gifts will get bigger.
Yeah.
You'll see that you will continue to get gifts, but continue to say thank you because it is a blessing.
One, and it is. And when he sent me that little message, law of attraction, I'm like, oh my God, that was, I was overjoyed because I love hearing how law of attraction works. And some people call it God's blessings. Call it whatever you want. It's still the same thing. And it doesn't matter. You can, well, I don't believe in it. It's still going to happen. You cannot believe that I'm going to get healthy and yet you're not. Well, you're right where you're supposed to be then. We were talking about the health thing on our way here to the studio today. We carpooled. I had mentioned when you're speaking, if you're sick, there's been a lot of sickness this past year and a half plus, right? So if you're sick and you're thinking, I want to be healthy. Well, when do you say, I want to be healthy? When you're sick. Well, why not put it, how did we put it? I'm thinking you should say it like, I want perfect health. This is perfect health is what I seek. And Paul corrected me. And how did you correct me when I was talking about that?
Well, anytime, and it's something the words, and sometimes it's just one word that can change the whole meaning. But I wouldn't. It's so much asking. It's thanking for having it. So when you are in sickness, thank God for good health.
Yeah.
He will fill the disconnect. It will, and that's more on how it works. People pray and they don't get their prayers answered because they always pray in lack and they're not thanking for what they already should feel like they have received. And when you do that with health, wealth, abundance, relationships, it will come attract to you because that's what you're putting out there, so that's what
Exactly.
you're going to receive.
It's not always the words, it's the emotion that you're feeling. I heard one pastor say this years and years ago. What we do, we'll sit and we'll pray and pray and pray and we'll ask and we'll confess and we'll surrender, and then we walk away from the altar or wherever we were playing, and what do? All those prayers, we just grab them up and keep them going. We don't just leave them there. We just take them with us. Nope, he's not going to answer. Well, of course not. Now that you got them, you're going to put the matters into your own hand. This thought about, I'm going to go back on health because I love this concept. And it could be anything just because we all relate to health and health has been a big deal. So if you are in sickness and you're telling God, universe, I really want to seek after good health. But what are you feeling? If you're sick, I mean really sick, for example, or not feeling well or whatever, and I just want good health. What are you feeling at the time you say that? Sick. You're feeling sick. You're feeling that emotion of sick. Why not change it? You're already sick. You're already there. Why put energy into something that's there? So change it. Is it easy? Well, it can be. You have to just change the
It's
emotion.
challenging. It's
But
like
it can
trying to
be
climb Mount Everest in your tennis shoes sometimes.
Well, yeah,
But
it
the
can
more you
be
practice, the better you will become.
practicing it. So when you're in good health, like Paul said, thank and be grateful, gratitude that you are in good health. You are able to do the things that you want to do, and if you're not, and you're working your way there. One of the things, gosh, it's been 4 years now. I had lost a bunch of weight, and I wasn't able to sit on the floor for like more than 5 minutes. I was trying to put this cabinet together, and my legs kept falling asleep because I was so big, and I was trying to put this cabinet together. But I remember when I just want movement. I was so grateful the first time I could just walk, just like I walk into my daughter's room and I just sat down, right straight down. I didn't have to like crawl down onto the floor. I just sat right down. Her jaw dropped because she'd never seen me do that. It's like I was so grateful. It was like, wow, I didn't even know I could do that anymore. Because like when you're 100 pounds, you can do it. But I wasn't 100 pounds. I was really big. Anyway, but it was gratitude that you have when good things are happening to you, and then the more you put out of the positive feeling you desire, your words and your feelings have to match, otherwise you're incongruent.
Absolutely agree. Let me go
Yeah.
back for just a moment.
Sure.
When you are sick, though, you feel sick, you feel down, you want to go and do things.
Yeah.
That's what you're putting out. And it's hard because you're not thinking about it, but the absolute best thing you can do is
Match.
change your mindset to start thinking positive. Think when your healthy thoughts, think about being outside riding a bike, riding a horse, going to the beach, doing those activities, your mind will take care of it. It really will. If you can get yourself in that mindset, because that's what you're putting out, that's what you'll get back. I understand if you're sick, you don't feel good, but you can control your thoughts. And wherever your thoughts are is what the reactions you're going to get back. So if you are ill, don't think ill. Think, well. And think about the good times, and think about the energy that you'll have, and the things that you would do, and see what happens.
Your emotional state is so important. So you want to attract good health, be in an emotional state of good health.
Oh, absolutely.
And it does struggle a little bit, and that happens. And it's like Paul said, it's a practice. So there's another thing that we have this expectation, well, that the universe is going to just be there. It's just going to help me be it. Well, you can tell the universe, no, I don't want that. But where's your vibration? The universe will also provide what you're feeling in that emotion. That you do not want that, but that's what you're focusing on. But I don't want that. But you're focusing on what you don't want. So it's going to give you more of what you don't want. So what about immersing yourself in what you want to attract? Immersing your desires as if it is now, like he said, happening right now. That's what you're going to attract, happening now. Now, is it going to happen like that? No.
Let me
Undoubtedly. Yeah.
answer your question on that other.
Yeah.
When you can say no is okay, but here's the thing: don't let yourself go down the rabbit hole. And that's my analogy, because when you have bad thoughts, we all do.
Right.
Every day, throughout the day, it's just human nature. We've
Right.
been done wrong to, boo-hoo, the government, all. Guess what? But you can, and the best thing too, look yourself in the mirror and say, no, I just will not do it. You cannot drive forward and reverse at the same time. So if you look yourself where your subconscious is listening and saying, listen, no, I'm not going to do this. But then stop at that point, get out of reverse, put yourself back and forward, figure out what it is, that staple that you are, that whatever your focus is, and move yourself forward. You'll transition through that. Don't get caught up in it. Don't dwell on it. Don't allow it to keep you in the past.
Your dreams.
You've only got so much energy you expel every day. You're either in the past, living it, or you're putting it towards your future. And today is now your future.
It's your
So the
present.
energy that you put out today is what you're going to experience tomorrow.
Yeah.
So if you want to look back tomorrow at today, you should have done the best you did.
Right.
Put that energy out there.
Exactly. We live in an attraction-based universe. And that means there is no such thing as no. It just is. It just is what it is right now. And that's kind of a profound thing. And as a matter of fact, that came from Abraham Hicks. That whole concept right there. So if you're putting your vibration out, you're working with the law of expectation now. I expect this to happen. And you can. expect it, but you got to be in the emotion of it. If you're not feeling the emotion, it will always supersede what your words are saying. So telling somebody no, I do not want that. The universe will provide more of the feeling of I do not want, just like what he was saying. So immersing yourself in the right things in the right way. I want to get into other areas. We did we talked about, oh, that was it. I have notes here, people, sorry. Okay, so people have told me from time and time again, I'm going to be successful when I have the right amount of money, I get the right mate, I have this happen, my life is perfect, I've got the right weight, I've got all these things going on, and I'm going to be fine, and then I'm going to be happy. Comment on that, Paul.
You know what? If you're waiting for any of that stuff to happen, it's not going to. You got to live in the now.
Now.
There's nothing that stops you from being happy.
No.
There are things. Don't get me wrong. I mean, there's sad events in our. We lose loved ones, animals, different things on TV we see, tragedies. How do you deal with it? You know, where do you put your heart? How long do you stay in those emotions?
Mhm.
You know, what we're going through with the government and everything right now. You can get wrapped up in that, but then that's where your heart is, and that's what's going to come back to you is more of that negativity.
Exactly.
So, yes, you can see it. And you know what? Take all the information in and say thank you. And process it, but don't dwell on it at all.
Nope.
If it's negative, put it out there. Say, listen, if there's anything that's valuable in this that'll help me move forward, then please bring it back to me. If not, I'm still going to continue to move forward.
And exactly. It doesn't happen the way you want it, doesn't mean it's not happening. It's just, that was what we call, it's not failure. It's called feedback. It's an NLP, neuro-linguistic programming thought. There's never failure. It's never failure. It's not a mistake. It's just another way of not doing it. Take the learnings that you took of that. What were my learnings in that? My learnings were this, that, or the other. Oh, so say you had a goal of, I want to save X number of dollars, let's say $50,000 at the end of a year. But let's say at the end of the year you only saved $35,000. Was that a failure? No. Just means you didn't get 15. Okay, but you didn't fail. There's feedback in that. It took 1 year to get 35,000. So maybe in one more year you would have how much? Maybe 70,000. You know, that's just learning how to do it. Thank God Edison didn't quit on the first try. 200 different ways not to do it, and he ended up with a light bulb. I think they said 232 tries. On the 232nd try, that's how we got the light bulb. That's how come you're able to see us today and on this in there where we're at. But there is no failure. It's just feedback, going back and forth. And there's always a positive intention to everything that's going on. Sometimes you have to struggle to find that positive intention. It
I
can be
think
a
the only
challenge.
failure is just not attempting to do it in the first place, or
Well,
just giving up, giving in,
yeah.
or saying it doesn't exist.
Yeah.
'Cause
And
that's the failure right there.
well, that is what you're in. You're
So,
in that.
and
Okay.
that's what you will attract because that's what you said and that's what you feel,
Mm-hmm.
and you'll put yourself right in that position.
How
But
many-
you can also change that
Yes.
position.
Yeah.
There's
you can.
nobody successful that's out there, anybody, regardless of where they're at, that said, I can't do that. Nobody can climb that mountain and sit at the bottom and going, no, I can't do that.
They're
And
right though. They can't. 'Cause
they're absolutely
right.
right.
They're
But
successful
it's a
right
person
there.
that goes, I can do this. And it's not easy, kiddies. You know what? I struggle every day with it. I keep practicing it. I talked to a gentleman about it today. I totally believe that even last night was a complete law of attraction. I'm working on my company. I need a specific, what they call a CNC tool to cut out some of my patterns. It's what time at night?
9 o'clock.
9
at
o'clock at night. She calls me. She has a client in there. Paul, you need to meet this guy. I start talking to
I
him.
never do that. I never let my clients meet anybody. But
And
during the conversation, it worked out.
He has a CNC machine. I'm working on it saying, I need this, and the gentleman's in the office next to me. This happened last night,
Yeah,
right?
he rents an office from me just so you can get a clear picture of what's
Oh,
going on. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I have a suite and there's 3 offices and he rents one from me.
But literally, I talked to the gentleman today. He may be even listening. And I look forward to working with him because this is how it works, boys and girls. Don't and the way we look at it too, you can't ask why it happened or how it happened. Just be grateful that it does happen.
It happened.
And never disregard an opportunity, as small as it may be. There are a lot of doors that need to get open. You're never going to go straight to the summit. You're going to go here and you're going to go there, but as long as you keep moving, you're going to get there.
Right.
And keep saying thank you along the way, and you'll keep getting those blessings and those ideas, those thoughts, the motivation. But it'll also open up doors for you that you didn't know you could do and you can't do on your own, but you got a big universe out there to help you.
Well, I want to focus now on what we call words of lack. You know, people will say, "Oh, well, I'm going to do that. Oh, someday. I hope. My desire is. I want. I will. I wish." All of those are words of lack, because the subconscious mind, the vibration of the universe, is like, all right, well, that's where we're going to keep you, because that's where your emotions are, in that words of lack. And it's a challenge when you say, well, I'm gonna. And I started doing that. I didn't even know about any of this. This is about 6 years ago. I had a Pinterest board on Pinterest.com. I had a Pinterest board, and I had all these recipes that I want to make, that I want to try, and someday I'm going to. And it just occurred to me, just out of nowhere, you know what? What am I waiting for? It's cooking. I love to cook. Why am I not doing it? So I did. The next day, I'm at the grocery store, and I picked about 2 or 3 recipes. I thought these were really cool, and I just started, and it's just flourished. You know what? I don't just collect recipes now unless I'm actually going to use them. It's like there's no point otherwise.
What
As an
should you
example.
replace I wish, I want with?
I am
Number one answer.
experiencing this right now. Use that gerund, ing. I have this, and you're making it up. Well, I don't know all the details. It doesn't matter. Make it up. Use your imagination. 2 of the most powerful things that you have in your body is your imagination and your emotions. They are very powerful, and just make it up. Well, doesn't matter. Just make it up. But I don't know what the end result, doesn't matter. Make it up. It might not happen for 6 months. Make it up. Just make it up. Use your imagination so that you'll see the imagination, and you're making this up, needs to be, specific, measurable, achievable, reasonable, in a timetable. It's called a SMART goal. But just make it up. I'm going to have $1 million tomorrow. It's not reasonable. Not to say it's not achievable. It's just not reasonable that it would happen tomorrow, unless that's the kind of work that you're in, that it could happen. Because, someone like Bill Gates could probably manifest $1 million just by writing a check, just whatever. But my point is, make it SMART, specific, measurable, achievable, reasonable, and a timetable. And then you're living in it. It's not happening out here, but you're living in it in your mind every single day. If you can live in it like a daydream, childlike daydream, feels so good, and I love it, and you're just enjoying the emotion of it. Do that 5 minutes 4 times a day. More if you can, but just live it. The world's going to go about. You're going to go about your life, but you're living it in your head. So many, it's just like, I know that, like, I have some goals that I'm putting out there, and they're specific, and I'm watching them now. It didn't even occur to me until probably a couple days ago. Wow, these are being manifested. My clientele, just putting my energy out in this positive way. And it is. You have those 2 voices on either side of your shoulder, kind of thing, that some call it the angel and the devil. Well, why not make them both angels? We need 2 of Paul's mom. She's such an angel.
Mama.
She's a sweetie.
Well, let me go back on.
Okay.
I think I am needs a little more focus, because here's the thing on that. Whenever you're having a bad time, whenever you're having a bad day, bad thoughts, they happen. Go to an I am, and make that positive to whatever makes you feel good. If I am having a bad day, then don't think that. Tell yourself, I am having a good day, and watch your day change. I am being successful, and watch how your life changes. And here's the key at the end of the day. No matter what happens, when you put those thoughts into your daily routine, use those negatives as a trigger to move you forward.
Yeah.
Use that to go, no, I won't go down the rabbit hole. I am doing good. I am creating good things. I am in a good relationship. I am, and those things will manifest themselves. And you will make yourself a better person as a result of it. And people want to be happy. Positive energy is a better emotion than negative. Who wants to be sad and upset and
Well,
negative?
wait a minute. Some
But
people,
I know they
yeah,
feel that they want to be in that and they drive to be into that. But do we really want to live there?
no.
We want to be, you want to be happy in the morning. We're only here for a limited amount of time. We all have an expiration date and we don't know who it is. It could be tomorrow. So live today, like they say, like it's the last day, because truly you never know. And if you do that, guess what? Tomorrow's going to be a better day because your mindset was on making it better. Therefore, you will.
Right. And I want to get back on that misery thing. People really do love their misery. I mean,
Oh,
we know
boy.
people that just
That could be a
haven't.
good song too, by the way.
People love their misery.
Oh, it's a good, yeah.
It's a
Anyhow,
good. It's got a catchy tune to it, doesn't it? Yeah. Well, okay. People love their misery. People love their sabotaging of relationships. They get to a certain point financially and then they sabotage it because they have to go back to broke. It's called homeostasis. We want to just keep things the same and in our misery. And that's all negative, and you're going to just keep getting more of what you've always got. Just like that definition of insanity. Just keep doing what you've always done, and you'll always get what you've always got. So if you want to change things up, do something different. Change things up. Make it different. Clear the negative crap. I help you with that. But let's go for an example. Let's say you're going to do a meditation. Put it on a 3x5 card, something specific, measurable, achievable, reasonable, and maybe a timetable. Put it on a 3x5 card, and you're going to just recite that or imagining yourself in it, 4 times a day for 5 minutes. You can do it 10 times a day for 20 minutes, whatever, but try to have some element of the day in that. So what's going to happen? I call it dots of doubt, and we all have them. It's that little devil voice on your shoulder. But what about, and you're focusing.
that's my ex-mother-in-law.
Yeah,
Anyway, go ahead.
You're focusing in on your desire. It's here, and now I'm living in it, and I'm achieving it in my mind. I'm just making it all up. I'm having good, and I'm taking in what the emotion, imagining what the emotion would feel like. But then there's that little poke. But you didn't take out the trash, or you forgot to go get the whatever, and don't forget about that. All these outside things are coming in. I call those dots of doubt. They're subtle. You got to focus, because those are still going to be there when you're done with your 5 minutes or your 10, whatever your time is. They'll still be there. So you can just thank you very much and just go back to your focus. Focus on what it is that you're achieving in your mind right now. Achieve it. Especially like, well, I don't have a mate. Imagine if you did. And put the positive emotion. Get rid of all the past crap you've dealt with in relationships. Got to clear the crap. That's negative, because you got that little doubt. Well, what if this one doesn't work out? And what if that one doesn't? It's a past. You don't need it anymore. You're focusing on now. So imagine your mate. What is it you desire of a mate? Put it in your mind as if it's happening right now. Maybe you can't see their face. It's okay. But you can feel the emotion of what you want to achieve, so that want becomes the now is. Words is, am, having, states of being that are happening right now, and clearing those dots of doubts. There's a big difference between the words your mind tells you to use, and the words your heart needs you to use. That was said by Roxana Jones. I like to give credit where credit is due. But then, like I said earlier, we get this good attitude going, and then everything's great, and we got our little 4 times a day, and you see an opportunity, and then it falls through. And we go into frustration and let down. So the universe goes, okay, we'll give you more of that. Right?
Let me comment on what you said, though.
Yeah.
When you've got on this side that's giving you all that negative doubt, and you're thinking about the negatives and all, your energy can only be one or two ways.
That's
so
right.
the longer you spend, focus on yesterday, because it is in the past. Your energy every day should be on today, the present, right now, which will produce tomorrow.
Yep.
So the more you do that, the more dim tomorrow's going to be. But I'm telling you, and this is honest, it's hard, because you don't recognize it, you don't realize it, and a lot of times people say, well, it didn't work for me. Well, it's because you didn't believe. And sometimes it doesn't work overnight, because part of it is how you manifest and what it is. And we can go a little bit too. When your affirmations, when you're meditating, when you're praying, it's all the same. You know, it's where your mind is, it's where your heart is, it's where your emotions are, it's where your thoughts are, is where it's going to drive you. So the more you keep taking yourself from the negative out the rabbit hole, bring yourself back into reality where you are today, because you can affect what you're doing right now because you're conscious in your mind and you know what you can move forward with. That's what's going to produce better results for tomorrow.
Exactly. Oh, yeah. And we're always going to be trying to predict what tomorrow is, or our mind is. Could you take the same energy that you have used on all those everyday activities, where my bills are due, or why don't I have this, and why can't, whatever, all that energy you're putting on that are going to happen anyway, or that are happening, or whatever that desire is you have, can you use that same energy, change it to a positive, and can you be just as successful doing the new stuff, the new ideas, the new emotions, as you've been in not the good stuff that you've not wanted, that you've been living in? You can be just as successful writing a new life script as you have been living in the old one. It's just basically writing a new life script.
Well, I think a lot of it too, when you say successful, you know, I think it's more happiness.
Happy, that's
Whatever
success.
it takes to you to
Yeah.
achieve that happiness.
Yeah.
And, you know, for you that haven't looked and did any YouTubes or any on Dr. Joe Dispenza,
Oh, great.
absolutely.
Yes. Oh
He
my
makes
gosh.
sense.
He does.
It really makes sense. The man actually gets it. And if you watch some of his seminars and you're looking at these people that just seem euphoric and they're just overwhelmingly happy, and you're kind of sitting back going,
This is
well,
really
that's a little crazy. You're a little too happy, or you get, you know, suspicious going, nobody can really be that happy.
Yeah, you can.
But then the other part of you goes, I kind of like to be that happy all the time. I'd really, you know, you look at it in a negative sense because it's so rare to see that people truly are happy with whatever they're doing, wherever they're at, whatever situation they are. They're legitimately happy. They go to bed happy. Their thoughts are happy. They wake up with happy thoughts. They continue to manifest that in their life.
It's all about the happy. I'm all about the happy. It's kind of funny. In relationships, you know, I met an amazing man, and I never knew a relationship could feel like this. I mean,
You're just trying to score brownie points.
I'm trying to score. Yeah, he's here in the studio today too. He drove. Anyway, but it's like, and we.
He is pretty amazing, by the way. So, I mean, all right.
He
I get some brownie points too. you
Yeah,
know.
okay,
I
just in
need 'em.
case. I know, right? But it's like we've told each other often, this is the way it's supposed to be. I never experienced that before, and neither has he. And it's like, wow, you know, it's, you know, wish we had learned this to each other 30 years ago, whatever. But it's just kind of nice that there is a sense of, I'm living the best life I could possibly live. I'm got the best friends that anybody could possibly imagine. And it's not like I'm too happy. I don't really always brag about it. Well, I brag about my
You should.
friends. Right. But there are things that we got to do. We got to clear the crap out of the way, out of our minds. And these are 8 things that I found that you, things to give up, to clear out, and what's stuck on you. And I think this came from Victoria Gallagher's book. And I'm going to share some resources. I'm not going to define all of these. I'm just going to, real quick, 8 things that you should clear out. Don't judge. Don't judge others. Don't judge. Your subconscious mind does enough non-judging, and you can follow suit. No judging. Just let things be. Worrying about the future. The future is 10 minutes from now. Just let it be. Let it be. Because it's just plain and simple. It's a waste of time and energy. You will not please everyone, so don't try. Just be happy with your art and be a servant and a help to those that you can be. Excuse me. People are hard to please anyway. There's some people that are just impossible. You just can't do any right. Don't bother. Here's a good one. Holding grudges, get rid of them right now. They don't serve the body. They don't serve your energy. And if you've got grudges against other people, get rid of them. Just let it go. There's nothing you're going to do to change that person or that situation. You can change how you react to it. You can change how your heart is. And then number 5, if you're a liar, give up lying. If you're an exaggerator, give up exaggerating. That's still lying too. But lying, give up lying. You know, remember when your mother told you honestly honesty is the best policy. Well, it really is, because if you have honesty,
My mom's got the finger too.
oh yeah,
Come
she'll
on.
put you, yeah, her finger. Don't mess with her finger. But it's like, it's, if you don't lie and you're always being truthful, you don't have to have a good memory. One of the beautiful characteristics of Paul here is his honesty. And
Thank you.
and if I say something different than what he said to me, like, well, no, but you told it to me. No, that's not what I said, Ilah. What did I say? Don't be, I'm more of a paraphraser. Don't paraphrase it. Just no lying. Otherwise, you're going to feel anxiety. And in my opinion, I don't have a lot of proof of this, but maybe I read it somewhere. Pathological liars. Your subconscious mind won't lie to you. It's going to tell you the truth. Whether you say it after you've already said a lie is another story. That's where the character flaw or the fractured identity might come in. But it's like they just so believe in what they're saying, even though they know deep down that's a lie. So lying is, okay, I'm going to get off that. Step away from your comfort zone. Oh my gosh, this is big for some people who love their misery. They want to just be in their misery. Step away from it if you want happiness. There's that little piece that wants the happiness. And then here's this called, she puts down, eat your frog, aka procrastination. And so many of us procrastinate. Part of that procrastination is perfectionism. You're not even going to touch it until it is. It's overwhelming, or you're not going to do it till you have the time, or you can do it perfectly. Well, how do you eat an elephant, Paul?
One bite at a time.
One bite. So don't look at the big, huge job. Just break it down, chunk it to little tiny pieces. Get rid of the procrastination. The one that's the worst, that's been nagging at you the most, get rid of it. Just make it go away. Do it. Get it gone. And then the last thing, worrying about what others think about you. This is a big one for so many people, the worry about what other people think about you. Victoria Gallagher had some, that was just, it's true. Get rid of the crap. I don't care anymore what people think about me. I'm me. And I can't, it's none of my business how you think about me. I know, I hope people think fondly of me, and I do get accolades, which we're going to go into in a minute. But how other people think about me. I used to just walk in the grocery store. Are they staring at me? Are they looking? That was my paranoia. Now I don't care. Go ahead.
I think you got to look at the benefits of why you want that out of your life.
All of it.
If you listen and you believe in the law of attraction, the more you focus on that, the more that is your personality, that's the more you're going to attract in your life. Mm-hmm. So the more that you can get those out of your traits, right, the more those people will be in your life. You will have less of them, because that's what you're putting out.
So I work hard. Sometimes I don't think I'm working hard enough. And I'm going to throw this out there just because Paul and my friend Mike here, my boyfriend, they said I should, because it's from the hard work. They're saying, and I am a member of the Tulare Kings Hispanic Chamber of Commerce. I've been a member for just a few months, and they had
great group of people, by the way.
Super group of
absolutely.
Yes. They have an ambassador lunch every month, and I went to it, and they do the ambassador of the month. So assembly member of the assembly, Devin Mathis, signed this on the 26th district here in California, and I have a picture of it there. Here it is here. I brought it in the studio. And I'm thinking, well, this isn't law of attraction. Both Paul and Mike, without even me telling them, they're going, no, that's not true. This is absolutely like a reward for being the positive person that I have been aspiring to become. And I am super happy. But I also want to share real quick, Paul has this book. It's called The Last Law of Attraction Book You'll Ever Read. Right here, The Last Law of Attraction Book You'll Ever Read. It's a really good, simple instruction book on law of attraction.
If you don't like reading, get it on audio.
Audio.
That book will change your life. It'll change your thoughts.
It'll give you
It'll
something
answer questions that just will make sense.
There's so many authors that I'm really appreciating more now than
That's
ever.
definitely.
He is one of them.
There's
This
one or
is
two.
This is actually by Cap, Andy Cap, I think the guy's name is. Doesn't have his name on there. And then the other one I really like, Victoria M. Gallagher, Practical Law of Attraction. She actually has worksheets in here too, so I kind of use them both back and forth. She has a little FAQ thing in the back, gratitude exercises, etc., on just keeping your just going forward. Now, about those two voices in our head, the devil and the angel. So play with me here a minute. We've got a couple minutes. On those two voices in our head, and if you don't know what they are, when you take a shower, you're talking to yourself. Every time you're driving down, it's quiet in that. You're talking to yourself. But you're talking to that other voice. So who is that other voice you're talking to?
Still yourself.
It's
Your
still you.
subconscious.
It's you. You're talking to you. So imagine taking the voice that's talking back at you and making it a person sitting next to you. Would you ever let that person talk to you that way?
No.
Everybody I've asked has said no. So why do you let yourself talk to you that way? Why not let that other voice be the positive voice talking back, and then it's like you're sharing. And how is that? It's called objective thinking. It's not an easy task, but I'm learning it. It's called From the Untethered Soul. It's by Michael Singer. I thought it was Sanger. Untethered Soul by Michael Singer. You can also get this in audio. All these books you can get in audio. Highly recommended. And before we end the show, Paul, is there anything else that you would like to add?
You know what? Let's talk about real quick, because we got a few minutes, about what we're going to do as an exercise.
Oh, that's right. We're doing something. We're going to be doing something as an exercise. So Paul's going to give me 5 affirmations. I'm going to make a recording for him. And the recording is going to be about 18 minutes long. And he has promised to listen to it every single day for 3 solid weeks.
Twice a day.
Twice a day. I'm sorry, twice a day. Twice a day for 3 solid weeks without fail. And if he misses a day, he has to start over. So I'm going to be bringing him back on the show in about 6 weeks, I think. I have to look at the calendar. Just watch for him. I'll make an announcement. And I'm going to get his feedback. He's not going to tell me the feedback before he comes back on the show. I'm just going to give it to him. He'll keep his own journal or whatever. He can tell somebody else. He can tell my friend Mike. My boyfriend Mike. I gotta start saying that. It's so fun. I got a boyfriend named Mike.
He gets all blushing and turns
gets
pink and
all
everything. Cute.
Oh,
Yeah,
he's
got
so
it.
cute. I
Keep
know,
going.
right? Anyway, but he will. But he's gonna come back and share any good or bad and any aspects of it. Which brings me. Why are we doing this, Paul?
Well, here's the thing. Okay, Ilah will get you into the meditation state when you come in the office, but is it effective at home? Can we do this by ourselves? And if we do that, how are we going to be successful? Okay, we can all put ourselves in a meditative state. Everybody happens there every day. When you go to sleep, the bridge is open between your conscious and subconscious as you drift into unconsciousness. So that state is when your subconscious is open to suggestions completely. So that's really when you want to feed in, what is it you want in life? What are your goals? How are you doing it? So what we are doing together is by having her produce an audio, I'm going to give her 5 of my affirmations that I want in my life, my success, my health, and she's going to do the tape on it. Now, I'm going to do, just like she would do in the office, I would put myself in that kind of a state, typically before you go to sleep. Get yourself why it's quiet. Why do you want quiet? Because you don't want your mind thinking on anything else. You don't want to listen about sirens and cars and any of that stuff. You need to focus on where we're at. So that's what we're trying to achieve is, can we attempt this, and can you do it at home without having to come into the office?
Excellent. Yes, that's what we're going to do. That's the challenge. And then real quick, vision boards. If you don't know what they are, look it up. And affirmations do absolutely wonders. And I want to thank you all. That's the end of this show today. I think it's been great. I know we've been all over the place, but a lot has been covered. Thank you, Paul, for being here again. We're going to see you back in a few weeks. And those of you who are watching the rerun, thank you. I appreciate that. But real quick, I want to put it out there. A couple things. If you would like to advertise your business on my show, it's not expensive. 15-second spots are $22.50. All right. You have to provide the content. If you want someone else to provide the content, it's a little more. And then also, more importantly, I am a hypnotherapist. I have an office in Visalia. I can see my client. I do see clients daily in my office, remotely through Zoom, or even over the phone. I offer short phone consultations that are free to discuss how hypnotherapy can help you. Just give me a call. Let's talk about it. 559-749-4803. And I'm really good at what I do. Otherwise, I wouldn't be in business. And law of attraction really is working. And until next week, everybody, Have a splendid weekend. Now go and do good work and help someone. Same time next week. See ya. Or you'll see me next week. I won't see you, but I know you're there. Ciao.